Of course, there are going to be reasons for you to miss school. Some of these will be outside of your control. All that I'm suggesting is that you narrow that focus, harness that incredible energy, that endless well of energy inside of you and power, and go be an active player in your school. My stellar friend, thank you for showing up and for taking a few minutes out of your adventure-filled day. I'm certain to hear what I have to say about your honest question. Many of you are wondering whether you really need to go to class, and I think today I can offer you two things. Number one, I'm going to tell you why students sometimes miss class or skip class. And number two, I'm going to do the best I can to provide you with a reasonable response to why you should consider showing up to class. And I'm going to try to do this without sounding overly preachy or like a total boomer that's disconnected and doesn't get it. Wish me luck, am I right? But before I start, can we just hold hands and agree that finding money in your pocket is the best feeling ever? Sorry, I just found a random buck in my pocket and I'm feeling pretty dang good right now. Anyways, here are the three main categories for why you would even miss a class. Number one, you might miss class for personal reasons. These include social pressure. For example, if you have friends that are skipping class, you're going to feel pressure to skip with them. Or maybe you're not particularly interested in that class. Or maybe you believe that you can miss class, because you think you're going to make up the work, or you're going to use somebody's notes, or you're already doing well in that class. Or maybe you don't like the teacher. Maybe someone is mistreating you at school or in that class and you don't want to expose yourself to that situation. Or perhaps you've got some personal issues going on in your life, like family problems or work, or you may be struggling with other personal challenges. And lastly, medical issues, medical reasons, right? You may be dealing with some personal illness, and this doesn't just mean physical. It can be a learning disability or even a mental health concern. Number two, you might also miss class for academic reasons. You might be avoiding the classroom because you're struggling with that class, or even academically generally. By the way, this can sometimes spiral, and I've certainly seen this in my own high school and college experience. When you aren't doing well, or you failed a test, or you've missed an assignment and you don't understand what is being taught, you can start to feel hopeless and a little bit helpless, and as a result, you begin to not show up. And of course, not showing up leads to a worse performance, which in turn leads to more skipping. Do you see the spiral I was talking about? Does this pattern sound familiar to you? Man, it does to me, because I lived it several times. Another reason is that you might miss school because you just feel disconnected from the school community or from your fellow classmates for a variety of reasons, and as a result, you're just not super motivated to attend school or classes. The third category is logistical issues. Maybe you're missing school because you don't have the transportation to get to school, or maybe there are other personal or family issues that are preventing you from getting to school. Maybe it conflicts with your work schedule. There are a ton of reasons why you would miss class and miss school. I went through that list not just to be boring, by the way, but because I want to recognize that sometimes things just aren't as simple as we think they are. Henry Eyring once said, "Whenever you meet someone, treat them as if they were in serious trouble, and you will be right more than half the time. So be patient with others while patiently working to resolve any obstacle that stands in your way." The other reason why I wanted to share this short list is because I wanted to help you see why you may be missing class. I believe that when we feel understood and when we better understand the why we're doing things, we increase in power and in our ability to take action to work through any challenge. All right, can we briefly talk about what things we can do to personally improve our attendance and why you would even want to do that? Number one, make a personal commitment to attend school. I think this is an awesome place to start. Begin with the goal, begin with an objective. Know this, my friend, your brain always works better when it's given a direction. I promise it will help you. Whether you're starting a new year, a new quarter, a new week, a new day, decide to attend your classes. I know it sounds magically simple, but in the end, my friend, you and I are ultimately accountable to ourselves. So set yourself up to succeed. Give yourself every possible advantage and don't dig a hole or pit for yourself. You can even make specific goals about your grades or grade point average, or make a commitment to turn in all of your assignments. You absolutely got this, my friend. Number two, realize that your success and enjoyment in school is directly connected to your attendance. You and I can have a total brawl about this, but the evidence doesn't lie. If you make a directed effort in school, you will dramatically increase your chances to feel more connected to the school, to the teachers, to your classmates. To me, that just sounds like common sense, right? Like if you want to improve something, you got to be at that something. you will also increase your chances of success and getting better grades. Remember that there is a direct connection there. Take it, use it. Number 3, start strong and keep up. My rambunctious friend. I don't know why I just called you that, but I did. One of the great skills that you will learn in your life is to manage the momentums of your life. Remember that. Have you ever been to a sporting event and watched as a team begins to do super well and the momentum shifts? And from that point on, it almost feels like they can't miss, like everything just goes better for that team. On the opposite side, have you ever seen a player or team lose momentum? When their head is low, they're shaking their head, they become too harsh on themselves and others, and their frustration level goes up and their quality play goes down. Well, this doesn't just happen in sports. It happens in your personal life. It happens in your school. It happens in individual classes. So when your year starts, or a quarter, or a week, or new material is starting, get your hype up. Sit toward the front of the class, take notes, engage with your teacher, ask for help when you need it, and keep that momentum on the positive. What do you think? Okay, number 4, invest in the relationships with your teachers. But Yuri, that's so awkward. Really? Come on now, are you still in that phase? I'm not talking about you finding out what they had for Sunday dinner, even though you could ask them that. I'm just talking about saying hello to your teacher when you walk into the classroom. And maybe even if it's not too embarrassing and awkward, to give them a fist bump on the way in or out. If disconnection is a reason to miss, then investing in connection to your teacher, students, and other members of the administration is part of that solution. Use it. Number 5, participate in class. You're asking too much. I know. Actually participating in the process, asking questions, raising hand, asking for help, volunteering to help, all of these things can severely impact your social standing and what other students will think of you. I mean, they might even think you're a suck-up. I'm telling you, it's risky business. But do you really need to prove to everyone else that you don't care? Because, my friend, I know the truth. And the truth is, I know that you do care. You would rather see an A, B, or C than an F or a D. That's the truth. You would rather leave that classroom with a higher grade, feeling better, more confident, more successful than not. So all I'm saying is participate. Set aside your ego, your fear, your insecurity. It's not useful there. And go for it. Number 6, ask for help. Sometimes we miss class for reasons that we can control and change, and sometimes things are out of our control. If you have obstacles to getting yourself to school, whether it's illness or family circumstances, or if there's bullying or any form of discrimination that is happening towards you, find the courage and humility inside of you to speak to someone else about it. Start with a teacher or a counselor, or maybe even a principal or vice principal. These people have a vested interest in your success. Use them. Honestly, it will absolutely make their day. This also includes individual classes. Remember to keep your momentum on the positive, right? When you can see yourself start to fall behind or not understanding your topic, or if your grades are on a free fall, lean on that relationship with your teachers and let's start your academic comeback now. Number 7, engage in the culture of your school. I know this may sound like a strange and disconnected suggestion, but it isn't. Evidence shows that students who are engaged in school through sports, leadership, clubs, orchestra, choir, even drama. That was a joke. I love drama. But yes, drama, along with other ways to stay connected and engaged, increases your chances that you will go to school, attend your classes. Remember that schools are social places, and your ability to make some connections there is wonderful motivation to get you to school. Here's the deal. You have to find a way to show up in your life and for your life. Of course, there are going to be reasons for you to miss school. Some of these will be outside of your control. All that I'm suggesting is that you narrow that focus, harness that incredible energy, that endless well of energy inside of you and power, and go be an active player in your school. If showing up is half the battle, the other half is to use your energy and invest where you are. To be honest, my personal motivation is less about your attendance and more about you finding and creating success, friendship, and happy memories right there where you are. It is possible. Don't convince yourself that it isn't. You gotta walk through that door. School and class attendance just happens to be the door you walk through. To give yourself a chance for something better. My friend, don't worry about your past. Don't fret about your past reputation and what your friends do or don't do or what they'll think. It's time for you to work the problem, find solutions, and give yourself every possible advantage to find success and happiness right there where you are. Now go, be cool, and get yourself to school. See what I did right there? I know, it wasn't great. Let's go.